Good morning and welcome to Coffee and, the longest running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee and panel.
And a good morning to you. It is Coffee and time once again here on ON Radio. It's Monday,
Already?
July the 7th. Yes, it is. It's our first live one in
Must
4
be 8
days.
o'clock.
Wow. All right. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan. That's Dave Richards over there. Hi,
I am?
Dave.
What do
Yes.
you know?
And we're being joined at the Coffee and Table on this Monday by the town administrator from North Smithfield. Scott Gibbs is with us. Hi, Scott.
Good morning.
And we expect Melissa Murray to be joining us momentarily. Before we get to things going on in North Smithfield, and you can always call in comments or questions at 766-1240, especially about what's going on in North Smithfield.
Denise is going to be a little late today.
Just a little...
So if she's late, if it rings a little bit, just let it ring. Call back. She'll be there.
I gotta. It's not really a complaint against the company, but this
company
this
are you
company
talking
is
about?
in your town, Scott. But you have nothing to do with it. Our friends.
That doesn't help when you
our-
couch it that way. You know.
Our friends at Walmart have already started back to school advertising. Started on the 5th,
So?
right after the 4th.
I'm surprised
So?
they haven't started advertising for Christmas yet.
Well,
Yeah.
no,
me-
well,
I was thought that's what I thought you was going to say.
No, that starts in August. That's already played out on the calendar.
Only 3 weeks away.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, so we'll see the Spirit of Halloween stores opening up soon, and summer's now over. It's back to school time.
Oh, I don't know. They still got the fireworks places out, but they look a little emaciated.
They'll be going away soon. So,
It's all merchandising.
That
So
is
give
so
them a
true.
break. You're
So-
not trying to make a buck.
So overall, the 4th of July in North Smithfield, everything goes as smoothly as possible there, Scott?
Yeah, fortunately, we still have fireworks in our town.
Oh, when?
Which is Saturday,
Yeah.
the 12th,
Oh, okay.
6:30 at the high school.
12th.
And you know something?
Wow.
I'll be able to go see those.
Yeah? Well, good.
I wasn't able to get to any of the others.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the weather put a damper on a lot of that. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Now, is this a rain day for you?
No,
No, this was you intended to
Yep.
be bring up the rear and have the best for last.
bring up the rear.
Yeah. Well, that's not bad. Here in Woonsocket, we had a very exciting July 3rd, Thursday, as all of a sudden the klaxons and everything else went off at the radio station. Was the National Weather Service declared a severe thunderstorm warning. And so I got on the phone to Liz Kerrigan, who was down at the event in Woonsocket. And they had the band playing and the food trucks out and a big crowd there and everything else like that. I says, I got to tell you something.
Guess what?
Severe thunderstorm is about 25 minutes away, and I see it on the alert. And the National Weather Service believes it's going to hit Woonsocket. So I got to tell you this because I know you're there, and you're probably not looking at any weather radar out in the middle of World War II Park. So she says, thank you very much. She was very appreciative. And I gave her a blow-by-blow as it approached. And the most wonderful thing is that, once again, what happens with so many of the storms that approach from the west, Woonsocket gets the better end of the weather stick.
Yep,
Same as North Smithfield?
absolutely.
Yeah, and the dividing line is Slatersville, usually.
Oh, really?
The western portion of North Smithfield can get what Burrillville gets. But when you get to Slatersville, that's where the Connecticut hills start rolling down toward the Blackstone River. And when the topography is getting lower in height, I know there's a couple of really big hills there, Woonsocket Hill and over there near San Antoine. But in general terms, the average is getting less. It decompresses the air, and you just end up with a better situation. Whereas Burrillville's getting whatever Connecticut gets,
Yeah.
and it's got the hills from the whole area where Springfield and Chicopee and all the rest of that stuff is. So that's what we had. A better situation, worse to the south of us.
Oh,
and
my
when we
God.
say south, we mean Lincoln.
Yeah, just a little to the south.
Oh, yeah. I was looking at all the thunder strikes, the lightning strikes, and the tower got hit about 7 times. The AM tower got hit about 7 times. Because we get an alarm every time that happens. But the surrounding area didn't. We had a few in Bellingham, a few in North Smithfield, of lightning strikes, but nothing consequential. Thank goodness. And you know, like when it hits a radio tower, they're designed, because they stick up in the air and they're metal, they're designed to take lightning strikes. So there's a certain lightning arrestor type of device, usually this is the base of all of them. So all of that's going on, and yet Lincoln and South, Pawtucket got walloped, South Providence, Warwick, Coventry, and Foster took it on the chin for Rhode Island.
Did you see the video of the man in Foster shoveling the hail
No, I did not see that.
off his back porch? Had to get out his snow shovel.
Thank God that's not us.
On
And,
Thursday night, they were only talking penny-sized hail.
This was
the
bigger.
one earlier in the week was quarter-sized
Yeah.
hail. It didn't happen in Woonsocket either. But yeah, right.
My brother Kevin got caught in Warren. It got
Warren got
heavy hail.
clobbered.
Yeah. So, well, glad that we pulled through it up here in the northern part. So that's good. But you did have a situation last week in North Smithfield with there was a phone outage. Did it affect the entire town or just the city hall? Town hall?
It was town hall.
Just town
Town
hall.
hall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is like, the really important part of town. Because that's where things are going on, right?
Theoretically.
You really have to communicate from town hall, right?
Melissa Murray has
Melissa
joined
just
us.
walked in.
Good
What
morning.
was the problem? Did they ever tell you?
It was a typical, the tech service and the phone service pointing fingers at each other.
They used to.
Voice over
do it. It's the
voice over protocol kind of thing, and it ended up becoming a firewall issue, and we had to reboot and all that kind of stuff. And we still had a problem with the Public Works the day after.
Did you?
I'm
Wow.
assuming that's been solved, but my assistant, Denise Stevens, sort of is the de facto point person for this, and she was pulling the hair out of her head.
When did it start?
I'd like to tell you I know exactly, but I don't.
Okay.
All I know is by the look on her face, it was going on.
Got to get it done before the holiday hits.
Yeah.
To get it finished, actually.
Well, we should have known when we're not getting any phone calls.
Yeah.
It's either something's wrong or, man, this is great. One of the two.
Everybody's happy.
It was that never happens. So it was the latter.
Did it affect your internet service too?
No.
No. Okay,
No,
that
it was
okay.
fine.
Okay, but just telephone.
Just
Can't
telephone.
make them in or out.
We
Firewalls
could
and
take
SIP
out. We
service.
could call out.
Call-
we
you
couldn't
could?
call in.
Wow.
Oh, weird.
That is weird. That is
Yeah.
odd.
Good, you could call for help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like the quiet.
because if the power was out, you have to call the electric company, and the electric company doesn't have a human being to talk to you when they
Oh, I
take
know.
that call. J. Harold Monroe and
God
Bob
rest his soul.
Cahill, you must remember those
Oh,
gents from North
great
Smithfield.
guys.
They worked for the electric company,
Yeah.
and they would call us at the radio station and tell us what was going on, so people would relax
Yeah.
about the power being out. That's no longer. It's
Those
all
days are
automated.
long
oh,
gone.
long gone. As is Bob and J. Harold.
Yeah.
So as I say, if you have to call out from your cell phone, they don't know where to send the repair truck. You have to call from your house. So if your telephone is out at your house, you got an issue there. It's going
If
to
you don't
delay
have-
getting your power
If
back.
you don't have a landline, you're gonna have trouble too.
Yeah, I imagine they're perfecting something on the website.
Yeah.
But I never trust websites.
Okay.
I own one. I know not to trust it.
Scott, in terms of the fireworks coming up this coming Saturday.
Sorry, Melissa.
You gonna have anything else going on? There be food trucks or anything else like that, or we just looking at fireworks?
You would have to ask Parks and Rec.
All right, they're in charge of that.
They're
Huh?
the ones in charge. I'm the administrator. I'm in charge of nothing.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah,
Fielding complaints
but
from department heads.
I'm not really sure what the total program is, but I do believe that there are going to be food trucks involved.
Okay,
'Cause I
good.
remember getting on an email on that one.
All right.
Now,
Good.
Scott,
Yes.
can I ask Scott? Do we have time? Because
yes.
it might be a lengthy answer. It might be a short
Yes.
answer. I don't know. Last week and over the holiday weekend, Mr. Trump down in Washington signed that economic package that he had been pushing so much. And he gave it the name Big Beautiful Bill. And then, of course, the other side can't be seen agreeing with him, so they called it the Big Ugly Bill. And there's a lot of controversy over what it does. Now that it is law, because the president has signed it, it's passed by both houses, a lot of politicians locally are having something to say about how it may affect their local communities. Are you in a position to make statements about that? Do you see? First of all, have you been told exactly what's in it? Because if you listen to the rhetoric from both sides, you don't know what's in it.
Yeah, I try. To be honest with you, the answer to that question is I have not looked at the bill in any detail. The two elements that were the most current with us was one, as it relates to green energy, in particular solar. Effectively,
You got a lot of solar in North Smithfield.
Yeah, the tax credits are being eliminated for all projects that weren't grandfathered in, and two, the additional.
So Iron Mine Hill Road's grandfathered?
Anything that's gone through the permitting process or in the permitting process is
Okay.
grandfathered. We just closed on a site in North Smithfield called the Gold's Land, and that's going
Where's
to be
that?
solar. It's off of Matity Road.
Oh, yeah.
We closed right under the, right at the perfect time they were motivated to close.
Yeah.
So that was one issue.
Was that
other
where the
one-
radio towers were?
I don't know if radio towers are up there. It's
Well, no, there used to be 6 of them.
okay. Lake Bel Air is up there, and
Okay,
it's right
that's
off the
different.
backside of Tarkland Pond.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Now, I know that there's a site that they want to put solar on there. There was 6 towers that for serving a Providence radio station from back in the 60s.
Geez, I did not know that.
They have been taken down. And 3 of the towers were in Borrowville, and the others were in North Smithfield.
Okay.
It was right on the line.
The
and it's Matity Road and Log Road. Technically, it was
that's the
on
area.
Log Road.
That's the area. The other thing too is the congressional appropriations. That's been a real problem historically. We, as every other city and town, can request a congressional delegation to support projects and put them into the funding bill. Last year, everything in 2025 was wiped off as part of the continuing resolution. We lost a couple grants because of that. We also
Was
had
it a great deal of money?
It could have been. I mean, once they get included, you still have to go through the process with whatever federal department you're connected with. The other one, we had a grant that was pending for a BRIC program, Building Resilient Communities, and it had to do with flood prevention. That was eliminated out of the gate. So that's been an important source of money for cities and towns to do large-scale projects. So I'm not sure at this point how that's going to fare. I have to assume that the Democratic House leadership had leveraged something on that as part of the funding legislation, but I don't know, and I haven't heard back yet. We did get emails from Senator Reid and White House, Representative Whitehouse, regarding projects that they've included in their package. So we've got our fingers crossed. One of them, of course, is the multi-generational facility, another tranche of money for that, which is critical for us to get this thing under construction.
Is that the one commonly known as a senior center?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
That's the one.
But government can't say anything simple.
No, because the minute I say multi-generational, government in its infinite wisdom says, well, wait a minute, you're not a community that meets low income requirements, and therefore, but I said it's senior. It doesn't matter if there's kids coming in, you don't qualify. I said it's a senior center. So
Yeah.
for now on, I call it a senior center, which is basically what it is.
And then you qualify if we call it a senior center?
Well, we do now. Well, it depends. I don't know how much damage is in since we've spent
Yeah,
so many
yeah.
years, so many times calling it a multi-generational facility. Clearly, we would love to put in programming that connects the seniors with the youth. We think that's incredibly important.
Yeah.
But bottom line is, it's a senior center.
Now, my understanding, and I could be corrected about this, but as I was watching the process, the part that got to me as Woonsocket, because we carry their council meetings on the air. Yours are on the same time, otherwise I'd carry yours too. But what can I say? You're doing it. I've only got one station, so
Might expand.
yeah. Well, that's been considered, but it's not as easy as you think.
I'm sure it's not.
So anyway, I was watching their budget process, and it appeared to me that Mayor Beauchamp and the council here pretty much took the general attitude of, you can't count on the feds for anything in the upcoming year. So don't rely on any part of federal assistance and try to get by without it. And they also offered some words of disappointment about how much assistance they thought they might get from the state, which is
Yeah,
why
good
they,
luck on that one, too.
yeah, right. And Melissa's right here. I want to direct a question to her as we go along, too, because she can advise us some of the backstage things that she saw as the budget was being put together. Governor McKee has already come out. I don't know if you agree with his statement or not. He's expressed severe disappointment with the bill and how it will affect Rhode Island. I don't know if you heard his statement.
That I would expect any governor, regardless of what side of the aisle you sit on, to be concerned because of its impact on the state. I
Sure.
don't care if you're Democrat or Republican.
Yep. Yep.
And Melissa's agreeing. To the casual and careless observer like me, who observes the rancor and rhetoric of the whole matter, I see clear divisions where you can't expect anyone who is a member of the Democratic Party to say anything other than we're all going to die. And that's too bad, because it can't be as bad as all that and still pass Congress. Wait a minute, Melissa's just giving me, well, I don't know about that, Dave. It could. Possible, I suppose. But wait a minute now. What else am I hearing? That according to the news reports on our station that I heard over the weekend, that, for instance, people who are senior citizens collecting Social Security as their major source of income will no longer find that income taxable under this spending bill, which is one of the reasons why the Democrats said that we're going into a deficit so big you've never seen one like it before. So how do we... I'm saying to myself, well, there's got to be a hint of truth here somewhere.
Up to $4,000. It's not everyone.
Up to $4,000 of benefits?
Correct. I believe it's benefits, but and I haven't delved into it. But I know that the limit is $4,000. It's not everybody that gets wiped out from taxes. So
Really? So you've done some
there
studying
is
here?
there is a limit on it. Yeah, there is a limit on it.
Well, that wasn't discussed in the news report, obviously,
course
for the
not.
sake of brevity. What do you mean, of course not?
Well, if it came from the folks who
See, this is what
Right,
I'm
no,
saying.
I know, but
the average
I
person
have-
just wants the truth. They don't
Yeah.
want the political rhetoric, and this is
Good
this
luck
is
on
the
that
problem.
one.
Right, but
But
also
wait a minute
lot
now.
of-
Let me be fair about this. Members of the Democratic Party have been fed this from their leaders from day one. That first of all, as long as it's a Republican thing, it can't be any good for anyone, and it's only good for rich people, and your average person is doomed as long as the Republicans are in. Now, you've been fed this from day one, so obviously you're not going to be given the truth. The Republicans are battling the other side. They're not going to be given the truth. And the average American, moderate, unaffiliated, non-party person like me and Administrator Gibbs over here just wants the stinking truth.
and it's difficult because a lot of these
Because you're not
cuts-
getting it. It's
right,
difficult.
and a lot of these things don't go into effect until 2028, which is not
when
also
there'll
not
be when there'll
talked
be
about.
another president. You don't think this guy's going to survive, do you?
Well, he can't.
He
run
can't.
again.
Well, you keep saying that, but believe me, he's the president. He could get
No,
it.
trust
he
me.
could get it done if he had to.
That will never happen.
Yeah, there
Well,
will be no.
It's not likely, and I agree with you there, that I don't think he's making enough friends to be able to extend his stay in the White House, regardless of what rules are. So we're on a total agreement
Yeah.
there. I just don't think that.
That's why we have a new political party.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
right.
do we want to talk
The,
about that?
the American
Wait a
Party.
minute,
We do have to take a break.
I think there is a huge need for a new political party.
Let's-
Whether it's who's leading the charge is another issue.
Right.
Let's talk
That's-
There's a
that's the-
fundamental issue for
Let's
a new
talk
political
about the
party.
historical precedent for all of this and what happened over the weekend. But I know Joe's got to get to a break, so let's do it.
So more coffee ants coming your way. Please stick around.
ON 1240, Innovation is driving Rhode Island forward. It's all part of the Rhode Island 2030 plan to power the future of innovation right here at home. We're building Ocean State Labs, a life sciences incubator in Providence, and launching a first-of-its-kind cybersecurity school at Rhode Island College, training the next generation for high-demand careers. Blue economy and ocean tech companies are choosing Rhode Island to grow cutting-edge technologies and create good-paying jobs. Go to ri2030.ri.gov to learn more.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
The Black Friday and July event from Dell Technologies is here with great offers on trusted technology. You'll also discover huge deals on new AI-ready laptops like the Dell 14 Plus featuring Intel Core Ultra processors starting at $699.99. Save on top accessories, plus enjoy fast, free shipping and other benefits. Upgrade today by visiting Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
WOON, Woonsocket Radio, ON, AM, and FM.
That's us, and it's Coffee and here on ON. I'm Joe Callahan, here with Dave Richards, Melissa Murray, and Town Administrator from North Smithfield, Scott Gibbs. So trash is going to be delayed.
Wait a minute.
We're bringing it back to North
teased the
Smithfield.
topic at the end of the
We
last.
go from politics to trash. That's not a tough transition.
Oh my!
That's
Well, he's the
Hey, you're a
moderator,
politician,
but I'm
too.
going to raise my hand after this. Go
All
ahead,
right,
Scott. Tell us about trash.
Trash collection in North Smithfield being delayed because of the holiday?
It was-
Yes.
yeah.
There's a one-day delay.
All right.
Yep.
Just keep that in mind if you're putting your trash out in North Smithfield. Okay, Dave. Your hand is up. Your hand is raised. You want to go back to the third party that Elon Musk?
Well,
We started
with-
that, and we didn't have really a lot of time to discuss it with any specificity or detail. And we all laugh because we've seen this attempted by better people than Mr. Musk, in my opinion, not his. I mean, somebody without the political H. Ross Perot tried to run as an independent. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I can go back farther than that.
And yeah, well, it's happened over and over and over and over again, mostly unsuccessfully. But
Yeah.
if you read the history books, today's Republican Party didn't even exist when this country was founded. And it was the result of the present parties.
The Whigs?
Yeah, that's right.
I remember. Spell it with an H.
Not being responsive, and they were able to actually start. People don't realize this. In Mr. Lincoln's time, in the middle 1800s, the Republicans were the renegades.
Yeah.
They were the new party. They were the liberal party back then. Since then, the Democrats, as they've been formed, read the book and said, that's how it's done, huh? Okay, well, we can be more liberal than that. And both parties will fluctuate between liberalism and conservatism back and forth like that. And while I personally think the country works better with a two-party system, because I've seen Israel and lots of other, they got 20 parties, and nothing ever gets done, ever, anywhere. I think the two-party system is the most effective and efficient system. One of them clearly is disconnected. So maybe we're talking a replacement of one of them, as happened in the 1800s. I'm done talking. Anybody have an opinion?
I think it's the history's important, but I think the context is different now. I think that the frustration with both parties is at a very heightened level, and I think that the seeds are there for maybe a better, higher prospect of this happening. However, with that being said, it depends on who's running the charge and whether or not that's going to get the buy-in of of the disenfranchised voters. And I'm not sure Elon, and I'm not going to bash Elon Musk. He's a brilliant, great business person. Probably should have stayed out of politics, but that's neither here nor there.
I think he shot himself in the head with that.
Yeah, he did.
And if he hadn't done that, he might be able to start a third party. But he has affected the lives of so many bureaucrats. And Scott, you don't have to respond to this if you don't want to. We all know that bureaucrats run the company for the executives that is government. And that's how it works. And he has disenfranchised so many of them and hurt their families and their income and everything else like that, that he couldn't be elected dog catcher.
There's sort of an unspoken, at least publicly unspoken adage, whether you're working in town government or state government, it is mayors, presidents come and go, we'll still be here.
Yeah.
That's the bureaucrats. They really do run the show.
They're the continuity of intellectual knowledge. They're extremely valuable to the temps, the temp players, the executives that come in. Who it's not like you're powerless. It's just that you're going to have people there telling you, that sounds like a good idea until you see what's going to happen after you do it.
I think that system works as long as the bureaucracy is in touch with the common person, and I don't think they are frequently. And two, whether the people in the bureaucracy are there because of a meritocracy or they're there because of political connections.
Right.
If you have well-trained, well-motivated professionals within a bureaucracy who are connected with the people and are held accountable to the people, I think it works very well. But I'm even now becoming a little bit more. The problem is when you get older, is my wife says, you just become a grumpy old man.
Well, I don't know.
So I have to be
You just
careful.
accumulated
I'm
more
a
reasons
get
to
off
not
my
like
front
something.
lawn kind of guy now. The house on the lake in New Hampshire is starting to look really good.
Better and better.
Yeah, I agree with that statement and your previous statements. I find myself like, stop speeding down my road. Like, when did I become that person? But no, I saw it in the last election. So many more people a majority of people in Woonsocket and North Smithfield are unaffiliated, and folks are fed up with both parties. They don't feel like they're represented. They are jaded. They feel disenfranchised. They don't feel like there is anybody there fighting for them, and that's a huge sentiment, and is just increased where people are just frustrated with both parties and politics in general. I think within the last, I would say, especially the last 6 or 8 years.
To extend your comment, would you agree with this statement that your average person feels the only luck they have in the world is being the one pandered to by disingenuous people?
I don't know that that's
You wouldn't go that far?
I don't think so.
I felt that way now and then.
Yeah, I think people do
Saying-
feel that way now and then, but
Oh, good, somebody likes me. I'm not
Maybe
expecting it, but if it happens...
maybe not but like, oh well, hey, somebody's actually going to do something for me. I think there's a lot of
But
there's
that,
a lot
that's
of that.
not, that wasn't the intent when we built the country.
Yeah, correct.
Or was
Correct.
it the intent when someone got elected, it was a career choice?
Yeah, oh
Right.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, back to North Smithfield.
Trash.
Shucks,
No, not
this is
trash.
much
We're
more
all
better.
we're all set with trash. But you had blasting. Was it last week or the week before?
Oh yeah.
I think it was last.
Is the town still in one
Okay.
piece?
I was just wondering if you got any complaints. We try to get the word out as much as possible.
You always
but-
get complaints, but
Okay.
the material follows the state procedures for the state fire marshal. They
Yep.
have to notify butters. They have to conduct the blasting within certain parameters. They have to have a bond in place. They have to do all those kinds of things. Does that make? I mean, to be honest with you, I live in Forestdale. Have I felt the blasting in the past? Yeah, I have. So you're always going to get the complaints. I get it. People have the right to complain. It's their home.
Yeah.
Just as material has the right to blast. So hopefully the rules and regulations are in place that protects both parties.
Do they plan on doing any more, or do they get all
They're
done?
always continue to do it.
They do. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is their stock and trade.
It's usually
Yeah.
All right.
it's usually once every couple times a month they'll do it.
Yeah.
But we'll always get notified in advance.
Well, that's wonderful. Speaking of Forestdale, North Smithfield Heritage Association last week I didn't see it coming. I found out the day before. The bird houses. I wonder if you've heard how they've been selling.
I'd like to say I know everything about this. This is the first I hear about it. I hope my wife doesn't hear about it because my whole backyard is birdhouses and bird
These are
feeders.
custom-made, handmade bird houses,
No kidding.
all with a different house type thing.
Oh,
You've
that's
got them
cool.
with gables. You've got them in different colors and different hole sizes for different species and the rest of that. Only $25 a piece.
That's cheap.
They had a bunch of them that they were putting on to benefit the North Smithfield Heritage Association. I wanted to get out to it, but I just couldn't get there. But I don't know if there's any left, but they have a Facebook page, and if you want to find out, you can go there.
I'll let my wife get on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a great group, and Rich Keene is a real
Yeah.
powder. I mean, he's just a spark plug. So it's great, the stuff that they do for the town.
Yeah.
Any bear sightings? That seem to be
No,
happening all
I'd
over
love
the
to have a
place.
bear in my backyard.
Well, with all the bird feeders, I'm surprised you don't.
Yeah, I love it.
Right.
Black bears, there's no reason to be afraid of a black bear. I'm fine with them.
Just
Come
stay
on.
away from them.
No, well, no, they are not. They don't want to be around you any more than you want to be around them.
Yeah,
As long as they don't have a cub
Yeah.
or they don't feel cornered,
Yeah.
they're fine.
Everything's
They're just,
But a cat or a dog has the same attitude.
Oh, yeah, they run at them.
I mean, not about you. I'm saying that if you approach them when they have their their kittens or their puppies or something like that, then they're going to be very defensive.
not my dog.
No?
Could care less. Cats, they always have an attitude, so I ignore them.
I keep hearing more things that you and I agree on, Scott.
I was just wondering if anybody in town.
No, I've not heard of
bears
anything.
in town. Okay. Well, our time with Scott Gibbs is coming to an end. Want to remind everyone.
Just having
Oh,
fun.
go ahead. You can remind him, Scott. Fireworks this Saturday.
That's right. Be there at 6:30. I was there last year, and I was incredibly impressed. It was a great firework display.
Where are they being set off?
At the high school.
At the high school.
Yep.
So there's going to be a lot of area around there. People can park and watch and see.
Absolutely. Yep.
Coming down. There'll be food trucks and fireworks will go off
And
when it
most
gets dark.
importantly, the fire department.
We'll be there as well. Okay.
Well, yeah, you got to have them.
Yeah.
Yes. Gosh, they're so important because you can't wait to call them if something lights up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Scott Gibbs, thanks for coming in
Thank
today.
you very much.
All right, we'll see you next month. And more Coffee Hands coming up. Time for a look at the forecast being brought to you by Amazon Prime Day.
The National Weather Service has issued a heat advisory for today for the Blackstone Valley. Partly sunny skies with a high of 87, a breeze from the southwest up to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies with a low of 72 degrees, a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Tuesday's weather, 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny and hot with a high near 90 and heat index values as high as 100 and just barely a breeze from the west. Up to a quarter of an inch of rain, except more in thunderstorms Tuesday. Wednesday, mostly cloudy skies, 78. Thursday, cloudy skies and 77. Friday, mostly cloudy and a high near 80. Saturday, partial sunshine and 81. And on Sunday, partial sunshine and 81 degrees.
Outside the Navigate Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, sunny skies and 76 degrees, although it feels a lot warmer because of the mugginess. The wait is almost over. Prime Day is almost here. Yes, and this year it's lasting 4 days. That's 4 days of great deals on all of the things you love. The countdown is on. Shop Prime Day, July 8th through the 11th.
Is your relationship with your bank in a rut? Might be time for someone new. At Navigant Credit Union, we offer better rates, fewer fees, and support that puts you first. Don't put it off. Join Navigant Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA.
I love our Rhode Island shoreline, but our location makes us vulnerable to hurricanes and tropical storms. It's important to be prepared as best we can before the storm hits. You can help by knowing your risk, getting flood insurance, and being familiar with your evacuation route. Let's all do our part to be hurricane strong. The steps we take today can help minimize the damage tomorrow. Learn more at riema.ri.gov.
Sponsored by the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
It's the worldwide sound of ON Radio.
Coffee and on ON. Thanks for joining us on this Monday, July the 7th. I'm Joe Callahan with Melissa Murray and Dave Richards. So the fireworks in Woonsocket on July 3rd did go off around 9:15 after the storm cleared out. So
that's right.
Did people stick around for
Well, not everybody did.
That's too bad.
That's understandable.
I know. They want to get out from the storm.
But they popped themselves back out of their little houses and cars when the rain stopped and the fireworks actually started. But they weren't in the park the way they were earlier.
Earlier with the band and the
And
food
we
trucks
really,
and stuff.
you had areas of Warwick, I saw for sure, Situate, Foster. They got over 1.25 inches of rain inside of an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
We got 1/10 of an inch in Woonsocket. And manageable lightning strikes. Just they hit the radio towers because those are like lightning rods. But other than that, we really lucked out that way. Yeah. So we did have the fireworks, and it's interesting as I was talking with Liz Kerrigan that we texted most of the time because it was noisy where she was, and she just texted back and forth with me, and I told her some information. I says, it's going to stop raining before they're supposed to fire off the fireworks. She says, yep. She said, talk with the fireworks people. They are so used to this.
Yeah. They do it
this
all the time.
happens so frequently for them. It's absolutely no surprise for the fireworks people. They are ready for it. And their weather information says, exactly like you say, Dave, it's all going to stop raining by 9 o'clock. They're going to hold it to 9:15 only because what if they're wrong by a couple of minutes?
Yeah.
So let's make it 9:15. Nobody's gonna leave because of that. They left because of the rain, but really, we had a great celebration, and up until the alarm started sounding and everything, which was about 7:20. What a great time they were having down there. Had a big crowd. Radio bandlands playing. They had the food trucks going. Everybody's having a great time. But this was not in the forecast earlier in the day. But then again, that's why we always say there is a 30% chance of rain any summer's day in southern New England. That is the baseline because you never have no chance of rain because of the humidity in the air. And these things can form and come right in.
And it's usually late in the afternoon.
Right.
Early evening.
They weren't there in the morning for the forecasters. They weren't there at noontime for the forecasters. But along around 4 or 5, they start forming over northern Pennsylvania and southern New York State, and they come in through Connecticut and Massachusetts and intensify in Massachusetts and Connecticut. And then they diminish after they hit Slatersville, and we're lucky again, thank God.
Well, I was lucky where I was because I'm looking at the map, and I go, what's the big deal? I saw a couple of raindrops fall. Everything went to the south of me.
That's right.
All of it.
But
wow.
But as it approached, it wasn't going to the south.
Yeah.
So, we had southern Norfolk County was part of the National Weather Service severe thunderstorm watch. That's where you live.
No, I'm in Bristol County.
You're in Bristol? Well, okay.
Northern
so it's the
Bristol
other side of, Norfolk was. And, of course, southern Worcester County, which is Blackstone, Millville, and to the west. All of that stuff is what happens in the summertime in southern New England.
All right.
So I wanted to say that these kinds of things that happen are unpredictable.
Yeah.
They until it gets very close, and then maybe you're not paying attention anymore. And the reason I brought that up is the tragedy down in Texas. You've got a news story about it because so many people are saying they're outraged in Texas. The National Weather Service, Mr. Trump is no good because he fired all the meteorologists and now people died and stuff like that. Well, you know something? While I don't agree with Mr. Trump's policies mostly, I will tell you this, no. Because the National Weather Service office was staffed with extra people. Usually during a holiday, they would be staffed with a little less, like any place would be, right? But it was staffed with extra people because they knew a weather system was coming in. But this was just like the stinking blizzard of 78. It was one size as it approached. It got bigger as it got to you, and you were totally helpless in trying to get the word out afterwards because it was developing as you spoke. You say, it's going to do this, and it was already doing something else. Weather systems are like 2-year-olds. You think you know what they're going to do based on past performance and their attitudes and what they show you. But when they get something in their brain, in the case of a 2-year-old, I know that storms don't have brains, but when the conditions are right, they just bloom. And more rain came down. Arthur Ketterett on our station in 1978 said, you get over 3 feet of snow in this.
Mm-hmm.
And for years, he had people saying, yeah, right, and you predicted sunny skies on February 6th of 1978, trying to tease him. No, I saw the forecast that came from him written down. He was predicting over 3 feet of snow. He didn't predict over 5 feet of snow because that all just developed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From things that didn't exist when he gave his forecast that Tuesday morning. Same thing here. So, and they put the word out. At 1:17 in the morning is the report I saw. You have it written down for the actual times. And then they hit all the klaxons for the flooding at 4 a.m. Well, guess what? People are sleeping.
Yeah.
They're not watching the radio, listening to the radio or watching TV or stuff like that.
We need to blame somebody, Dave. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
People want ahead.
That's right.
I was in a party in Riverside
on
Thursday night. And got there probably around 6:30.
Well, you were right in the eyes of the storm.
Yeah, and right on the bay. Everybody's having a great time. I didn't really
And
know.
hey, it's getting mighty dark.
All of a sudden, we're right out there. There's an awning there's a porch, and then there's an awning, and then there were several tents set up, pop-up tents set up that people were under. You're right on the bay. Everyone's having a great time, having a couple cocktails, and it looks kind of dark over there. And then, within minutes, tent lifts up off the ground, inside out,
60-mile-an-hour winds,
instantly, holding down the other tents, and the sky opened up.
And 25-mile-an-hour winds will tip at 10.
Yeah, so everyone was holding on to the other tents, and I'm saying, take the tarp off, right? Because that's what makes it. But we couldn't.
It's the sail
element.
Yeah,
it's like making them. Yeah.
I know, but if
so
you
that one got
but
broken
if you,
also. The awning got broken.
Did it, if you did that, you wouldn't have any shelter anyway.
Right. So everyone went inside, and then of course the power went out. The neighbor's tree. This was a friend's parents' house. The neighbor's tree fell.
Onto
the power lines and onto someone's car. And then this is it's like this little peninsula where there's like one road in and one road out.
Yeah.
And so a bunch of trees fell across that road. So basically,
So you spent the night.
No, they were the fire department was very good. They moved like one of the trees out just so like that one car's worth could get out at a time. But yeah, it was we hung out in the dark for a while. And the
Where was
awning,
this again?
awning broken, Riverside. Yeah.
So it's East Providence.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was worse down in Tiverton.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yes, wild.
Okay, moving on to July the 4th. Dave, do you want to address the 4th of July parade?
Yeah.
Well, go right ahead. No, you had some issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so it's like this, boys and girls. I'm going to explain it to you in average terms without all the technical this and that.
You got 4 minutes.
Yeah, thank you. It's like this. The staff around here knows this. I just explained it to everybody else. This is how I look at it so that people can understand things. This radio station goes out and does remote broadcasts. We're good at it, and we're proud of our ability to bring the community to the rest of the community and special events to the rest of the community. And we can't be everywhere because we have such a tiny staff. But we do relish the idea of going out and broadcasting. We have been broadcasting that 4th of July, and there has been issues and issues and issues. And we have worked on it, and we've spent money, and we have trained, and we have tested, and all the rest of that stuff. When I talk to the staff about what happens at a remote broadcast, I put it together in like a little scenario so they can understand it really well. It's like you're going into a football game, and the other team is coached by Murphy. Murphy of the famous Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And we have to be ready when it goes wrong. And so, we have backup power supplies. We have a generator. We have extra antennas. We have extra thises and that's and everything else. And we go out there and we do the best broadcast we can. And most of the time, I got to tell you, most of the time we bring it home and we win. So it's like ON 20, Murphy 1. He beat us last Friday.
All right.
Murphy beat us. We were out there on Tuesday and again on Thursday, testing the internet connections and making sure that everything was going to be fine. On Friday morning, had good internet. As we approached 11 o'clock, the internet went to blazes. I needed an internet connection of 3 million, and I didn't have 10 as it approached for that. So, and that's on the Verizon circuit. So we got radio out on the AT&T circuit. See, we even have 2 different circuits in the truck. But the AT&T circuit in that neighborhood has always been a problem for wireless internet. Always. So, but the AT&T circuit, unfortunately, was not adequate to take both radio and TV. Radio being the primary medium here. We recorded the television, had it up in the afternoon by 4 or 5 in the afternoon. We recorded it for TV, and we did the live radio. And that's what happened. Murphy won. What can I tell you? It happens sometimes, despite your best efforts. Murphy was better than us last Friday.
Just a quick question on that, Dave. Do you think, you tested it on Tuesday and Thursday,
Yeah.
but now there's people there. And do you think it's people's cell phones that are using the internet just in your general area, and you got to split the pie up amongst everybody, and so now you don't have enough because other people are using it?
No.
That's not an issue?
Not in this case.
All right.
That happens at basketball games, indoor venues, things like that. But no, that's when you've got 5, 6, 10,000 people in a small area that you can see from one end to the other. This is a mile parade route. No, that's not the case in this particular case. No, this was just an out-and-out failure of circuitry.
Okay.
And I can tell you, as I drove away after putting all our equipment away and drove away back to Woonsocket, I said, I will never, ever, ever do this parade with wireless connections again.
Because it just
ever.
doesn't work.
Because it's been nothing but drama. And this one we failed at.
Okay.
Leslie
Page
next
has
time,
joined us.
I'm going to see my friends, my brothers over at the Lafayette Lodge and say, can I plug into the building?
Yeah. All right.
And I'm sure that they'll accommodate us, and we'll run a big stinking wire 200 feet from the truck into the lodge, and Murphy ain't getting us next time.
Leslie Page has joined us from the Woonsocket Harris Public Library. Hi, Leslie.
Hello.
And we'll find out what's going on at the library coming up in just a few minutes. Time for a next break here at the Coffee and Program. More coming up. Stay tuned.
ON 1240.
Innovation is driving Rhode Island forward. It's all part of the Rhode Island 2030 plan to power the future of innovation right here at home. We're building Ocean State Labs, a life sciences incubator in Providence, and launching a first-of-its-kind cybersecurity school at Rhode Island College, training the next generation for high-demand careers. Blue economy and ocean tech companies are choosing Rhode Island to grow cutting-edge technologies and create good-paying jobs. Go to ri2030.ri.gov to learn more.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then, someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
It's going down Friday, July 11th. Netflix and Most Valuable Promotions are bringing the fight the whole world's been waiting for. Katie Taylor stepping back in the ring, chasing that ultimate glory. But Amanda Serrano, she's coming for redemption. This is the final chapter in their legendary trilogy, and it's about to get personal. Live from the iconic Madison Square Garden in NYC, it's Taylor versus Serrano one last time. You don't want to miss this smoke. Watch Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, live on Netflix. Let's go!
ON AM and FM.
All right, Coffee In on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards, Melissa Murray, and Leslie Page.
We have lots of public service announcements in the library. Did you know that? Take a look over here. We have at least 4 current ones.
Yes. Summer things.
Several things
Ms.
going on.
McNulty sent them out last week.
Yeah.
And I'll bet you that Leslie's going to talk about them, too.
A couple of them, yeah.
All right, why don't you do that now, Leslie, since Dave brought it up.
Okay. So our summer hours are Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday and Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We will be closed on Saturdays through Labor Day weekend. We offer self-service photocopying and faxing. Our reference department provides notary services free of charge on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m., 2 to 4 p.m., and 5:30 to 7:30 p.m., and Tuesday and Friday, 9:30 to 11:30 a.m., and 2 to 4 p.m. This week, the Children's Department is offering Sensory Exploration Fun today at 10 a.m., beginning watercolors for ages 7 through 10, also today at 3 p.m. Music is Fun with Anne-Marie Forer, Wednesday, July 9th at 11:30 a.m. 3D Printing with Dan, also on Wednesday, July 9th at 3 p.m. And Summer Readers Celebration Day on Thursday, July 10th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Activities include face painting, a lunch provided by the Woonsocket Rotary Club, crafts, games, and book giveaways. For more information about all children's programs or to register, please call 767-4122. Our teen department holds a tabletop role-playing game every Tuesday from 3 to 4:30 p.m. Anyone age 11 through 18 is welcome. Storytelling through theater is a drop-in workshop for ages 11 through 18 at the library every Thursday from 3 to 4:30 p.m. For more information on all teen programs, please call 767-4132. The next Tech Tuesday will be held on Tuesday, July 8th at 2 p.m. This session will be devoted to learning email tips and tricks. Call 767-4124 to register. All of the latest information about programs, services we offer, and how to reach us can be found at our website, woonsocketlibrary.org, or on our Facebook page. If you have any questions or would like more information about anything I've mentioned today, please call us at 769-9044. And we look forward to seeing you at the library.
All right, Leslie, thank you very much. And let's see, other things that went on July 4th.
Which is a cooling center, by the way, and we have heat advisory today.
Right?
Thank you for bringing that up. I didn't remember to think of that.
Also on July 4th, a little surprise, the City Star convenience store over on the corner of Winter Street and North Main Street had a car crash into it.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I heard about that.
It looked kind of, it's under investigation, but it looked kind of like one of those things where you hit the gas instead of the brake.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Foot slips off.
Yeah.
Could happen if you got sandals on, you know, don't have the same footing.
And there's talk of a medical situation that might have happened as well. It's still under investigation, of course. So
sure.
They're going on and on. But I believe the store is closed. Because they put out a statement saying, please go visit our other store because we got a little cleanup to do over here.
Isn't that other store over there in North Smithfield?
It's where R&D Seafood used to be.
So that's still Woonsocket?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
That's still Woonsocket
Right
for
on
a
the
few
line.
more feet.
Yes. And it's
actually it's where Siegel Olds used to be before it went to social
Right.
and then went out of business.
It's still called, and they still call that one City Star as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah.
you just got to go, well, which one are we talking about here? The one on Great Road is okay, and they're up and running. So you can use that one. The other one going to be closed for a little while. All right, we brought up a little bit earlier. The Texas floods that have took place since July 4th. You know, I reached out to Craig Pelletier, who lives down in Texas. I said, "Is this near
Dallas.
you?" And he said, "No, it's south of where
South
he is."
and west.
I'm like, oh, okay, good. So he's all set. But when things like this happen, people sometimes split into two different categories, and there's the ones that question their faith when they say, "How can God let this happen?"
Right.
and because it was the girls were at a Christian camp.
Yeah.
How can you let this happen? And then there's the other side that it actually strengthens their faith. And they say, well, they're in a better place, kind of thing. So we're all happy for them. I don't know if people went in that way or not, but one thing I did hear. Now there's an equivalent boys camp with this, and what their people told the boys to do was to get up into the rafters of their cabin, I guess, and that's how they got saved. Like, wow.
Because they got the word right, or
they may have saw what was happening, or maybe someone woke up
Right.
and
Somebody could have got up, go to the bathroom, look at, hey, the water's coming.
Yeah, fast.
Yeah.
It rose, what, 20 feet in 45
20
minutes?
feet.
Yeah.
In 45 minutes?
In less than an hour.
Yeah.
I know
Think of where 20 feet is here on Park Avenue from our standpoint, because it's all more level there. It's not hilly like it is here. But think of 20 feet is the second floor.
So I know the director of the camp, Mystic Camp, he has passed away. The other one I saw that's the most disheartening, they posted, there was a picture of 6 people. There's a set of grandparents, there's a set of parents, and their 2 kids. The 2 kids have already determined that they have passed away. The last time I checked, the grandparents were still missing. And so that means one of those parents has lost their 2 kids, and one of them has lost their mom and dad, all on the same day. I said, I don't know how you come back from that.
I don't know how you
That's just
process that.
I don't know how you do that. So
it's a personal thing.
Yep.
You can't give anybody advice about it.
No.
You can't pass judgment on it.
Right.
Whatever
You
it
can't
is, it's right for
quantify
them.
grief. Everybody experiences it differently.
This is beyond grief.
Yeah. Right.
It seems.
I'm sure they're probably in shock right now. But
yeah.
It's.
So they're still searching, right? From last I heard.
Oh gosh,
they're still
yeah.
searching for
80
anybody,
and they're searching for hundreds more.
Yeah.
Well, dozens more. I'm sorry.
Okay. Back here in Rhode Island, I heard Dave's story. Kind of chuckled to myself. But Friendship Street in Providence, is that near Providence College? I just don't know my streets. In
not really.
Because they always have the
That's
problem with
closer
the parties.
Friendship Street, yeah.
And so that is it near PC?
Friendship Street? No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
It's more towards Center City, maybe South Center City.
Okay.
Would you agree? I'm trying to remember because I've seen it. It's not far away from 95.
She's
gonna look it up. All right, that's probably the smart thing to do. I'm just trying to remember seeing it go by on a street sign.
Have you? Okay.
Where was I at the time?
Well, the cops were called to the home on Friendship Street after 1 a.m. Complaints of a loud party.
They were partying.
But some people say, nah, we were fine. So they decide to obstruct the police. Not a good idea.
That's where you break the law.
Now they're going to arrest you for getting in the way.
You know, if you've been drinking and partying that much, chances are
you get strong.
Right.
Depends how you get.
Oh no, you get opinionated too. You know, cops, you guys, get out of here. You're spoiling our buzz here.
Yeah.
So yes, you have seen Friendship Street because it goes all the way from Dyer Street all the way, southwest, all the way to Broad Street, right? So it's pretty, it's like, I wouldn't say it's kind of the West End, but yeah.
Southwest, yeah.
Yeah, Broadway, West End, Neighborhood Association. Yep.
I don't know if you heard the mayor of New York City. Is it Eric Adams?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Came out and said for the first time ever, and I don't know how he knows this, but on July 4th in New York City, there wasn't a shooting or a stabbing. No one died on the 4th of July.
Wow, I thought you were going to say no one blew off any digits.
No, this is a little more serious than that.
Yeah, okay.
But there was
so
there was
may
no
have been
shootings.
lost some digits, but no
Maybe
lives
that
lost. That's
happened.
good. That's good.
Something happened with that where...
we saw a story. A 70-year-old man was lighting off
was that
fireworks
in
on the
Wareham?
beach. But he didn't blow off digits. He got it right in his face.
In his face.
And he died at the scene.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You know, you look over them, and these are not lighting, and
leave the fireworks to the professionals.
Well, these are the ones, you're buying at the store.
I know. Or
but
you
they
go
pack
up
a heck of a punch.
Yeah,
they can,
do.
especially when you're 3 feet from it.
Right.
Traumatic injuries, yep. And dead at the scene. Wow.
And you'd say a 70-year-old guy ought to know better.
Well, he's probably been doing it. How many 4th of Julys?
Could be, yeah.
So,
You do feel capable after a lot of experience with it.
I asked Scott Gibbs about any black bears in North Smithfield. No, but there's one in actually a few in Granby, Connecticut. They walked into the home. A black bear and 3 cubs. Just come on in.
Oh boy, get out. Let them do whatever they want.
State Environmental Conservation
I'm sure
officers.
a door was open, Joe.
Yeah, door was
Well,
open.
yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, they ripped the screen door off. That's another possibility.
They can do that.
They were called to the scene, rushed to the scene on Saturday after the bear family entered through a basement screen door. The bears took some food, quickly left before the officers arrived. They were nowhere to be found during a search of the area. No reports of any damage to the house, and the property owners were not hurt. Well, yeah, they probably smelled something.
Yeah, they smelled food and they were hungry.
So the mom said, "Come on, kids."
Mom's like, "Yeah, come on, kids.
Food is this?
We're
is this
going out
way.
to eat tonight."
This house has got frosted flakes, and we love them. All right. We had a man bitten by a shark down in Florida.
Ouch.
I know, right where I have family living.
In New Smyrna Beach?
Which is,
Oh
yeah,
my
it's
goodness.
2 towns south of, you got Daytona, and then you got Port Orange.
Do they go to
going
New-
south, and then the next beach south is New Smyrna.
Do they go to New Smyrna Beach? Because that's where it took place.
It's a wonderful beach. It's a long beach.
Yep.
It's got several entrances and exits, and it is an automobile beach under
it's
the
like
right
Daytona,
circumstances.
okay.
They do suspend that for turtles and other environmental reasons, but generally speaking, Volusia County makes a lot of dough, and they've got some of mine for driving out.
on the beach.
I got a picture of the ONXB, that little white car, on the beach. There at New Smyrna, and that's right across from where Denise's mom has a place.
The man was surfing yesterday afternoon, and it says he just recovered from a shark bite. Probably got him in the leg. Doesn't really say. Maybe he's just sitting on the surfboard waiting for the next wave to come along.
Well, when you sit on the surfboard and you move your arms and legs, you look like a seal from underneath.
Okay. He was taken to the hospital. He is expected to survive.
Right.
That's good.
But he may limp a little.
And here in Mass.
All right, I'm making light of it. I'm sorry.
A red-tailed hawk has been rescued here in Massachusetts.
They're in Massachusetts.
They're in Massachusetts. Out west, out in Hadley, Mass, which is way out there.
If you've ever Hadley, you know.
A red-tailed hawk is on the mend after being rescued on July 4th. The Hadley Police Department says their department received a report that a hawk had been hit by a vehicle. Doesn't say what kind of vehicle. They said the hawk was injured and was unable to fly. Luckily, renowned bird of prey rehabilitator Tom Riccardi lives in the area, and that's who he called. And he rescued the bird.
Who are you going to call?
Nice.
Well, lucky, do we have a bird of prey rehabilitator in the area? In case it happens here
You
in
in
Woonsocket.
Hadley.
We got one in Hadley, Massachusetts. It's taken a while to
There
get here.
there are bird rehabilitators in Rhode Island.
Are there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was such a thing.
Yeah. And the Audubon Society, there are people connected who do that. Yeah.
All right, very good. All right, that'll do it for the show for today. Thank you very much for listening. Our thanks
is it
to-
over?
Yeah, thanks to Scott Gibbs, Town Administrator from North Smithfield, for joining us. And our thanks to Leslie Page. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, thank you for having me.
All right, and Melissa Murray, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Have a great week, everyone.
All right, and Dave, thanks for sticking around.
Been a pleasure. We'll see you later on and tomorrow morning on the radio.
All right, this is Joe Callahan. Stay tuned for...
Don't forget the Tiki Bar tonight at 6 replay.
5.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. We changed it to
Yeah, we
5.
changed it to
Thanks
5,
for
yes.
correcting me.
Kim Garno is next with Blessings and Good Health here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket